Good morning. So I'm going to try this video in my kitchen, which is really shallow. It's going to be about pregnancy. So when a woman is carrying a body it's forming, the body is like a candle, so it exists, but it's not yet lit with a flame. It doesn't yet have the flame, which is spirit. Well, maybe spirit is around, is already kind of connecting with the body, but the day of connection to the zoo here, because the lower world, the physical world, is the zoo. And we connect, the letter for connection, when we take what every letter carries as a sound and as a visual representation, the letter K is a letter relative to connection, when we're connected with the physical realm. The letter K is connected to the above, to what's around, and it's also connected, it has a leg down here, it's connected to the ground, it's connected to everything once we're connected. Once we have a kinetic connection with life. And the body is also represented as a candle itself when it's not lit. It's the letter T. The letter T is like the tree trunk, okay? And before we are born, we are this electron, but on the day of connection, the day of connection with the zodiac, when the ionic flux connects, that day is the day when our zodiac sign is determined, because it's the day when the influx of spirit and of the ionic flux settles, connects officially with the tree trunk, the physical body, the T. So that's why zodiac, le zoo, D apostrophe I in French, the I zoo connection day. So it's hard to say in English, but I needed to say in English first. So zoo of I connects on that day. So it's when our zodiac sign is determined on the zodiac day. So T being the letter representing our body before it's got light in it, okay? And when spirit enters the body, then the sign of the cross, I would say, represents the crossing of both, okay? So, and then eventually we're dotted with more and more spirit as we integrate the body. It takes years, right? We're not just in the body and fully aware of the outside world. When we're a newborn, we are an infant, and infant has to do with the nose, because we are very olfactive. We don't see through our two eyes. We haven't integrated the body fully. Once we're born, we live still in our central sun. We're always sleeping because the body's still building, really. Our first contact is very kinetic, and it's through smells that the baby recognizes its environment, it discovers its environment through how it feels, but through smells. They recognize the mom by smelling the mom. You know, the eyes are mainly closed. And later in life, when we integrate the body more and more and more, there's like a transition phase around 7-8 years old. And that's when we leave the radiant central sun space and integrate the two eyes, which in French is les deux yeux, Dieu. So we integrate our animal body more and more, and as of age 7, 8, we call it the age of reason, because we start reasoning on the tart area more than inside the central sun. We sort of leave that light. We leave the fairy. We leave the fairy world, the unicorn. This is our unicorn. It's our horn. It's our central eye. And we leave it around 7, 8 years old to integrate this vision. And it's God, to me, the word God, not the concept of God, but the word God really corresponds to dog. Our dog is our whole life. This body is the first animal we're going to be responsible for. And until we reach a certain age of reason and then other stages of life, our parents are responsible for that dog, that God. But we go from the one God and we integrate the two gods, and this becomes the only thing that's true after a while. It's like, well, if I can't see it with my eyes, it can't be true, can it? And that's when we become a human, like a man, because in French, Dieu, two eyes, Thomas, made you a man. This is what makes you a man. It's seeing life through these. But you haven't lost this. You never have lost it. Because when we leave the body, that's where we leave through. We leave these two first, and it's through here, the all's eye, that we escape again and go back to spirit, to the one. Okay? So that's what I wanted to try and explain. And every letter represents a concept, and also it carries a vibration. And the letter K, as I said, is very kinetic to the physical world, but it's also got us connected also with spirit, right? And the letter I represents the influx of spirit and the ionic flux, and it all deposits. The ionic flux needs a heart, because a heart, remember, it's our deep magnet. So we are ionic and magnetic. So we are electromagnetic. Ionic is electricity. We are electromagnetic, but bioelectromagnetic beings, as we're here in the flesh. And the flesh body is our pet. It's our pet. We are living in an envelope that's alive. It's animated, and it's occupied by spirit. Occupy New York. Occupy your body. And that's it. So I'll stop it there. I know I explain it like I'm 5 years old, because I started my schooling in English when I was in college. Before that, I studied in French, and I spoke mainly French. So that's the best I can do for this morning. But I wanted to talk about these things because zodiac sign is when it's the day of connection, the day when opens. What am I doing here? That's when you're born. The first sound you make when your mother's channel opens and lets you out. You open your own channel and you're like yourself, and then tack, you connect with the kinetic environment. So and the zoo is the physical, animated, flesh and blood and bones world. And D means of I. I is the ionic influx can show up and occupy. Thank you. I do what I can.